Hello y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about this knife. This is by a company called huo-hou. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's huo-hou. It's basically a XIAOMI knife, or XIAOMI. I don't know how Americans pronounce that name. It's a Chinese company. They make the cell phones, make a lot of products. What it is, it's a holding company where they buy a lot of different companies. This is one of the multi-tools they sell. They also have kitchen knives and a bunch of other things. They have a few other multi-tools. I'm hoping to bring a few of them to the channel. They're mainly like plier-based or scissor-based. And hopefully I'll bring them and we can review them. This one is a nice little, really cheap. It's like $3 or $4 for this small rescue tool knife. It's a slip joint. Just opens and closes. I added a lanyard to it, which is I really like. So you have a little more grip. It's kind of kid friendly because there's no stabbing point. What you get is like a hook blade. You can use it as a gut hook or for cutting seat belts, for rescuing. And here, over here, there is a secondary or a cutting edge. So I'm going to see how they cut and give you what I think about how they cut. There's also a scraping edge flathead screwdriver up here, which to use it you have to hold the knife in a downward position, pushing against the blade, which is a good thing, because if it was straight or even to the other side, you could close it by accident on your finger. It comes in red, white, or black. I have this red one. Okay, let's see how it cuts. Let's do the paper test. Here's a paper. So we have a hook and a blade. Let's try giving it, as you guys, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm pinching from both sides. And it cuts it. Hook cut, okay, it starts ripping. The hook isn't really made good for a paper. I'm running out of blade, but the regular blade is cutting it pretty well. This is like the third time I'm doing these cutting tests because, well, the first time I had my camera off, and the second time I was cutting out a frame. But yeah, it's cutting not bad. It's also pretty easy to sharpen. It's a cheap steel, but let's try this again. Cuts paper pretty decently. Let's try some paracord. The hook. It's not bad. Cuts it pretty nicely. And the main blade, just right through it, like it's not even there. Now, I'm going to try this, even though it's cut sometimes it hasn't. Here we go. Okay, the hook is not cutting through. Well, it did. You have to wiggle it a lot, but it does cut through this, which is about 1 centimeter thick. The blade, to start at the base, cuts almost through, and then the hook finishes off. If I only want the blade, I could. But it cuts it pretty well. I brought out this thinner rope just because I didn't know how the other rope would fare, but it fared really nicely. As you guys can see, it's cutting, ow, it's cutting pretty nicely, these ropes. I have this hard corrugated plastic. Let's try first the blade. I'm running out of blade, but it is cutting it really nicely. And let's try the hook. Okay, it's cutting also really nice. So for seat belts, this would cut no problem if it's cutting through these hard things. I have here a old leather belt. and it's cutting through that. Knife is cutting through the leather real easy. So yeah, as Doug Marcaida would say, it will cut. My thoughts about this knife. It's not going to replace a Victorinox Classic, even though it's about that size and has very similar functionalities, mainly because the Classic has the extra tools. You have the scissors, you have the file. This does have a flathead screwdriver and scraper, like nail cleaner, just the same, but I don't think it's going to replace it. Also doesn't have tweezers or the toothpick. I've never really used a toothpick on the knife, on the Swiss Army knife, but I don't think this will replace it. It's a great knife. For the price, you will not get a better tool. It's nice, it's sharp. I really don't know what else to say about it. It's cheap. You pick it up on AliExpress for like $3-4. I'll put in all the sizes and pricing at the end, but this is a really nice EDC thing. And if you're out and you're with your kids and they want to, you know, cut something or whittle something while you're out in the woods, you don't want to give them something they might poke themselves. This is a little safer option because you do have a blade here that you could carve or whittle with. And yeah, does a great job. And then you have this for if you want to keep it in your car near your steering wheel. If you're ever, God forbid, in an accident, you can cut the seatbelt. No one's going to look at this and say, hey, that's a scary knife, you're going to kill someone with it. Anyhow, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. As usual, please leave a like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all on another day.